Right guys, what is going on? Match reaction. Aston Villa 2, Arsenal 1, and Villa win their 5th Premier League game in a row. What form Aston Villa are on. Oh my days, what a game. What a game. To win it at the death as well, against the league leaders. It's a statement win for Aston Villa. Now listen, Aston Villa are not going to win the Premier League. It's just not going to happen, is it, really? Let's be honest. But what a victory today for them. Unbelievable. Honestly, I think Villa deserved it. The stats were very, very, very even indeed. But I feel like if you watch the game with your own eyes, Villa, I think, were just about the better team. And I think they do, I do think they deserve that victory. Obviously Arsenal drop points again. They drop points again, and this time it's not 2, it's all 3. And, with Manchester City to play Sunderland at 3 p.m. today, City can close that gap down to 2 points. So there's the incentive for Manchester City to go and beat Sunderland and close the gap further. But yeah, what an ending. What a game. It was a very entertaining game. I actually think, though, probably, I know I literally just said I think Villa deserved the win, but I feel like if it ended up a draw, I don't really think you could complain from either side. It was a very close game indeed, but I do think Villa just about edged it. But yeah, absolute bonkers ending. Bonkers. But for Arsenal, more dropped points. More dropped points for Arsenal. And, is the nervousness starting to creep in now for Arsenal? Because, like I just said, if City win today, they're 2 points behind. And now if you're Arsenal, if you draw and Man City win, you're level on points. If you lose, Man City win, Man City are ahead of you. It's the mental game now, I think, for Arsenal. They've got to go again. I'm not sure who they play next week, but this was always going to be a tough game today. With the form Aston Villa are on, this was going to be no easy game for Arsenal, and it wasn't. Aston Villa, I thought, were brilliant today. They went toe-to-toe with Arsenal. Apart from that little period in the second half where they kind of sat back a little bit, they went toe-to-toe with, what is many people's eyes is the best team in the league, in Arsenal. They went toe-to-toe with them, and they beat them. And, I was literally saying in the watch-along before the game even kicked off, I do not want Aston Villa to fear Arsenal today. And they didn't. They took it to them. And yes, they won it with the last kick of the game. But it just shows, if you take it to Arsenal with the players they've got missing in Gabriel and Saliba, if you take it to them, you can actually get a result. And that's what Villa did. And they've ended up winning the game in, crazy fashion. But no, Aston Villa, another win, 5 Premier League wins in a row now, I believe. They are just in incredible form. Their last defeat was against Liverpool, and that was at the start of November. They haven't drawn a game since then. They haven't lost a game since then. And, winning builds confidence. And Aston Villa are playing with insane confidence right now. You look at their last game before Arsenal, Brighton went 2-0 down, ended up winning the game 4-3. So it shows they've got that comeback capability as well. But they didn't need to come back in this game. Villa, they, took the lead and then they won it at the end. But yeah, Villa are playing with insane confidence right now. And that result is only gonna benefit them for future games ahead, no doubt. But let's just touch on Arsenal, before we talk about the goals. Are you worried, Arsenal fans? Let me know in the comments if you are worried, because it's that thing again, isn't it? If Arsenal would have won this game, it would have been up there with the St James's Park win that you got against Newcastle. But you haven't won, and it's like now you're questioning yourselves again, aren't you? Is this team capable enough to get it done? I still think Arsenal will win the Premier League title. But, you know, with results like this, you never know. You never know. But yeah, what a result for Villa. Arsenal falter. But let's talk about the goals. Villa take a 1-0 lead in the 36th minute. Matty Cash with the goal. Really good finish this by Cash. Cross comes in from the left-hand side. And it takes a deflection, I think, off an Arsenal head. And it just falls into the path of Matty Cash. Takes it on the half volley. Keeps it low as well. That's the key here for Cash. Keeps the ball low. Keeps the finish low. Goes under Raya's legs. And just flies into the back of the net. 1-0 to Villa. And, you know, I think Villa did deserve that 1-0 lead. I think Villa were the better team in the first half. And, yeah, I think they deserve to go in at the break. 1-0 up. And then, you know, it was just about, could Arsenal respond? And, you know, I was saying at half-time, I feel like if this game went to 2-0, it would have been very hard for Arsenal to get back in the game. But 1-0, there's always a chance. And, you know, I thought if it would have went to 1-1, I could have seen Arsenal winning it, but obviously they didn't. However, though, it did go to 1-1. Leandro Trossard in the 52nd minute, a half-time substitution by Mikel Arteta. Another substitution working for Arsenal. And they win it high up the pitch, Arsenal. Onana tries to dribble with it, loses it to Saka. Saka then plays it to Odegaard, and really smart ball this by Odegaard. Saka makes the run off him. Odegaard slips in Saka, and he gets in the cross, Saka, and it's a dangerous cross. Martinez palms it straight, though, into the path of Leandro Trossard. Two Villa players, on the line. Couldn't keep it out because it's from such close range. And Trossard equalises for Arsenal, 1-1. And then, like I said prior, Arsenal were then kind of, you know, on the front foot. You know, that goal gave him a bit of confidence. And, you know, Martinez made a brilliant save to deny Odegaard from about 25 yards. But yeah, Arsenal were on top at this point. But then, you know, from out of nowhere, for the final 10 minutes, Villa were dominant. You know, and it was all Villa. Arsenal couldn't get out of their own half. And then in the 95th minute, the last kick of the game, another substitution, Buendia winning it for Villa. Last kick of the game. I mean, it's just a scramble. It's a goal mouth. It's scramble egg. It's literally scramble egg. I mean, Arsenal can't clear it. Villa are just keeping it alive. And I think it's Kamara. Just lays it off to Buendia whilst he's on the floor, Kamara. And Buendia opens up his body, curls it into the top right corner. No chance for Raya. And it is a bedlam at Villa Park. And Villa get the 2-1 victory. Buendia, last kick of the game. Unbelievable scenes. Unbelievable win for Villa. Arsenal falter again. Arsenal need to bounce back now. They really do. But what a victory for Villa. What an unbelievable win for Unai Emery. But yeah, it finishes 2-1 to Villa. But guys, let me know in the comments your thoughts on an insane ending to the match. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll catch you later.